What's up guys? Today I'm getting ready for an interview, so I wanted to get ready for that interview with you guys and show you what I do with my makeup when I'm getting ready for an interview. I want the star of the show to be on my personality and my brain and my talents. So when it comes to makeup, I really do the bare minimum. As you can see here, this is all I do. It's really quick, it's really easy, and it just kind of enhances your natural features. Now obviously everybody has a different face, so it might not work exactly for you what I do on myself, but you can kind of pick ideas and see why I use what I use when I'm going to an interview. I try to do that in the video and explain why I'm using this foundation, why I'm using this concealer. So I hope this is helpful to some of you. So if you're at all interested in seeing how I get this look and what I do to prep for an interview when it comes to my makeup, please keep watching. So I've already prepped my skin. I've put Aquaphor on my lips as always, and I've put on my Dr. Brandt Pores No More. I like to let my primer sit in for like 5-10 minutes if I can, just so it really fills the pores. So I wanted to do that off camera. And today I'm going to use my L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible in the shade 104. And I'm going to apply this with my like Amazon knockoff Artiste brush because I just want a light wash on the face, and this does absorb the product a little bit more than applying it with like a beauty blender or something like that. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to look fresh. I don't want to look like I have a big, I don't want to look like I have a full face of foundation on where I'm covering up everything. I want to look fresh and awake, so I'm going to quickly apply that. And another thing I like to do is spray the brush with some like setting spray or some water or some rose water before I blend, because I feel like it just helps the product blend out a little bit. And then I kind of just tap it a little bit to feel how wet it is. There we go. And of course, I get a little blemish before I have an interview because my skin hates me. So as you can see, it's not putting a like full coating of foundation on. It's just evening out my skin tone and making everything look a little more polished, which is exactly what I want when I'm going on an interview. And of course, blend it down your neck because you don't want that line of demarcation. So when you're interviewing with someone, they're like, why does this girl look like she has a mask on? And yeah, honestly, that's probably all I'm gonna do as far as foundation. Like I said, it's not like full coverage or anything like that. This does take a little bit of the product away, and I like that because I want the interviewer to see that I'm not like caking on makeup when I go to see a client or something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just kind of like to show my true self when I interview. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And the next thing I wanna do is really focus on looking awake. You wanna look awake, you wanna look energetic, and all that good stuff when you're interviewing. So I am gonna take my BECCA Under Eye Brightening Corrector, which looks like this. This is just a little sample size. It's just a little pinky concealer type thing, and you only need a little bit of this stuff. A very, very tiny bit goes a long way. So I'm just gonna use my ring finger and put that anywhere I have a little bit of extra darkness, which for me is usually in the inner corners, and I really am just lightly dabbing in there. So you can see I'm only using a little product. I don't like to load up on this stuff, but this is just kind of the first step to concealing, and I'm going to blend that with my finger. I find that this just works a little bit better with the heat of your finger than with a beauty blender, but as always, to each their own. Some people might like a brush, some people might like a beauty blender. I just find the heat of my finger really makes this sink into the skin. So that's probably where I'm gonna leave that for now. And I'm gonna take my Sephora Bright Future Gel Serum Concealer, which looks just like this. I'm in the shade Blondie, which is quite appropriate. And I'm just gonna put this right over where I applied that brightening cream, and then of course, fan it out just a little bit. And then a little down the nose. I'm not gonna conceal quite as hard as I normally conceal, and I'm not gonna apply any kind of like cream contour today. I'm just gonna lightly conceal in those smile lines. And I know this might be like heavy as compared to what some people do, but when I'm doing a full face of makeup, this is pretty light for me. My cat is scratching in the background. I apologize for that. So I'm just gonna blend this stuff out. And I like this gel serum because it is very easy to blend, and come on, Theo, really? I like this gel serum because I feel like it blends very easily and it's very hard to crease. And I definitely don't want any crease lines under my eyes when I'm talking to somebody and interviewing. Like I said, I want to look bright and awake and like I'm kind of naturally glowing. So I'm going to add just a little tiny bit more around my nose where I tend to get redness, and it is winter in Chicago and it will definitely get red there. So if I can kind of prevent that up front, I will definitely do that. And then I'm going to just take a little bit of my NARS Creamy Concealer and Thought conceal that little blemish there. Just a little bit. And then of course I'm going to set everything that I just concealed with my RCMA No Color Powder, which looks just like this. And I'm not baking in any way, shape, or form. I'm just gonna take a very tiny bit on my hand, something just like that. And then hopefully you could see that. Just get that right up in my damp beauty blender and just pat anything that could have possibly creased out and just set lightly so it doesn't go anywhere. Like I said, that Sephora Creamy Concealer is really good with not creasing, but just to prevent it and kind of blur any lines, I'm going to set everything with the powder. Add just a tad bit more. Work it into the beauty blender just like this. Set the chin. Smile lines. The reason I breathe out is because I don't want to set into the creases. I want them to pop out so they don't crease. Little left. Put it on that guy. And that's all I'm gonna do for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just quickly fill in my brows. I'm not trying to sculpt my brow. I'm not trying to slay my brow. I just want to make my brows look a little more full than they are. So I'm just gonna brush them up. And I'm gonna take my Catrice Eyebrow Set, which I love. I really, really like this darker color for my skin tone. Not skin tone, eyebrow color. And I'm just gonna quickly fill in the outer corners. Again, I'm trying to look natural, so I'm not gonna like carve them out. Just gonna add a tiny bit of definition. Applying very lightly up here and fading up. So you could see, like normally I would kind of give myself a little more of an arch, but I'm not doing that today. I just wanna look more on the natural side. And I don't wanna look harsh. Of course, you want to look in as I apply way too much there. Just no problem, I'll just blend it out. But you don't want to look harsh, obviously, when you're going in for an interview. You want to look inviting and soft and approachable. And I know sometimes I can overdo it on my eyebrows, and I don't know, sometimes that just makes me think I don't look as approachable. That'll probably do it for me. I'm not too worried about having perfect brows today, like I said. So I'm gonna take my Essence Make Me Brow, looks just like this. I'm going to do that same tip I told you guys in my last video. I just kind of like touch the tip to a paper towel to kind of wipe off any excess product so I don't glob it up anywhere. And I'm just gonna mainly set these outer corners because they like to hang downwards. So focus the product there and then move to the inner corner just a little bit. And that'll do it for my brows. I'm going to go ahead and go on to just a little bit of bronzer. I'm going to take my Chanel Soleil Tan. This thing is on its last leg. I definitely need to invest in a new one. You can see there's like brow hairs in there, but this stuff is awesome and it just makes you kind of look like you're bronze from within, which is what I want to go for. I don't want to look harsh. So I'm just gonna get that on my Real Techniques flat brush and just apply that where I would apply my bronzer. If you couldn't tell, when I go on an interview, I really like to look like my beauty is like coming from within. So I just like to kind of enhance my features rather than like change them up, which I clearly love to do. I think that's awesome. That's why I love to do makeup, because you can transform yourself into something, and I just think it's beautiful and awesome and fun. But when I do go on an interview, I do like to just kind of enhance my natural beauty, if that makes sense. A little down here, a little down the nose, just to look like I have some healthy color. And that will do it for the bronzer. And I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and just kind of tap around just to make it, once again, look like it's coming from within. Just like that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and move right on to my blush, which is just going to be the Milani Dolce Pink. If I can open it, looks just like this. The reason I'm using this is because it has a healthy glow to it. It's a natural pinky color, and I like that. It looks like it's coming from within once again, and I just think it looks nice and fresh, and it helps you look awake. So I'm gonna take that on my MAC. I don't know what brush this is. What is it? 168, my MAC 168, and put that right on the apples of my cheeks. Again, I wanna look like I have a healthy glow, and that it's coming from within. So I'm gonna put that on the apple of the cheeks mostly and just fade it back. Same thing on the other side. These Milani blushes are so good, you guys. Like, if you haven't tried them, please go pick one up. I know there's like a coral color. No, it's not Coralista. I don't know what it's called, but this one and a coral color. I think there's a rose color that everyone kind of uses, and they're so worth it. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna do with that, and then I'm going to blend it away just a little bit, just to blend as usual. And that is all I'm going to do for my face. I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that RCMA No Color powder in my hand, like this much. It's not really much of anything. Put that on this big fluffy brush and run over everything just to make sure everything is nice and set. Because I did apply that cream bronzer, which does set down, but since I didn't apply anything over it, I just like to do this as an extra precaution. And then I'm going to go ahead and move on to highlighter. I'm only going to apply a small bit. I'm not gonna glow for the gods for this interview, so I'm taking my Wet n Wild Gold Bar. Looks just like this, and I'm just gonna take my Morphe M510 brush, which looks just like this, and I'm just gonna apply a little bit. I'm not spraying my face with anything. I'm not spraying my face with Fix Plus or rose water or setting powder. I'm just gonna get in there and just do a little bit of a healthy highlight glow. Just like that, and up here. Same thing on the other side. Down the nose with my pinky. And then on the Cupid's bow. And my camera shut off as per usual, but I was just kind of touching the highlight that I just put on my face with my beauty blender to blend it and make it look a little more natural. And that is all I'm gonna do for the face. So we're gonna move right on to the eyes as I'm throwing things around here. I just take my Urban Decay primer potion, and I'm going to put that, is it even called primer potion anymore? Yeah, it is. I'm gonna put that all over my lids just to give it kind of a like matte wash and just cancel any kind of discoloring I have on there again, so I just look a little more healthy. I know you should be taking your ring finger to do this, but it's my own face. So I'm just gonna take whatever finger I want. So once you got all that blended in, I really don't like to do anything really at all on the eyes for an interview. I want my eyes to look wide and awake, and because I have hooded eyes, I don't like to put any kind of color on there. I just like to highlight a little bit. I'll define my lash line, and honestly, that's pretty much it. So I'm just taking my MAC Vanilla color, and I'm just gonna put that all over a fluffy brush, my Morphe M502, and I'm just gonna work that color in there, and I'm going to set the primer potion from my lash line all the way up to my brow bone. just like that. And like I said, I'm just gonna kind of define my lash line. So I'm just gonna take this color down here, which I believe is Handwritten from MAC, and I'm going to just work a flat liner brush in there. And I'm gonna just define my lash line by pushing in to the upper lash line, just to kind of define a little bit and make my lashes look a little bit thicker. So when I'm done here, I'll show you exactly what this looks like. So you can see this eye versus this eye, how this looks a little bit thicker and this one is not so defined. And I just like to do that instead of line, because if I add liner to my eyes close off, and I certainly don't want that when I'm trying to look awake for an interview. So just gonna work that in there, and then I'll take whatever's left and just lightly on the outer third touch. Again, when I get my eyeliner on, that will just help it to look a little bit more defined. And that is all there is to it, to the eyes. I might take highlighter once again. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna take that Wet n Wild Mega Glow Gold Bar, and I'm just gonna work my finger and touch that there and there. Might have been a little bit too much. That's fine. There and there to, again, open up my eyes and make them look a little bit brighter. So now I'm going to curl my lashes. Again, key to making you look a little bit more awake. I'm not going to be applying any kind of false lashes or anything like that today, not for an interview. So I'm just going to curl my lashes really quick, and then I'm going to use my Maybelline Butterfly Sculpt. And of course, I'm going to kind of touch the tip of the mascara to the paper towel once again, because when I don't do that, because my eyes are so small, I tend to get little, you know, black dots up here and up here, because you can see my lid hood's over there. So I just take the tip and I wipe it off a little bit on a paper towel, and that makes all the world of a difference in applying my mascara. And I'm not going to go and apply like 5 coats here. I'm probably just gonna do 1 or 2, just to, again, look a little more awake and defined. We don't want spider lashes. And every time I dip, I go ahead and wipe off that tip of the mascara. And I really like this wand. It's nice and tiny for my tiny little eyes. It just really gets in there and coats every lash. I'm really enjoying this stuff. And we'll do a little bit on the bottom. Maybe we'll dip once more, wipe it off, and then define just those outer corners. Whoop, see? Went a little too crazy and made a mistake, but that's okay, we'll wipe it off. Not to worry. Beauty of not applying anything onto your lids is if you make a mistake, you're not like wiping off any kind of shadow or anything like that. So just put that on there, and then I'm going to take just a little bit more of that MAC Vanilla color to kind of cover it up. Just like that. And that will probably do it for the eyes. I know it's nothing special, it's just kind of natural and enhancing what I have, which is exactly what I'm going for an interview. So the last thing I want to do here is my lips. So I'm just gonna take my NYX Soft Matte Cream in London. It looks just like this. It's just a natural lip color. And I'm gonna keep my Aquaphor on because I really like that hydration, and I don't wanna feel like I have dry lips when I'm talking during an interview. That would not be very fun. So I'm just gonna apply this, no lip liner. I'm not defining, I'm not overlining. Just applying where my natural lips are. Just like that. And then I'm going to apply just a little bit of gloss, which is the NYX Butter Gloss in Madeline, and I'm just going to apply this on the center of my lips. And I'll go ahead and take these pins down and set everything in just a second here. Got my Urban Decay. Shake it up, shake it up. Hopefully my mascara has dried by now. Probably hasn't totally, but I'll just a couple of spritzes. I'm not gonna go ham here. And then I might curl my lashes one more time, just really quickly. I like to do that after the mascara dries a little bit because it really kind of stiffens the curl. And I know that's kind of like a faux pas, but I like to do it. Works for me. You do you. Oh, obviously we want to do one more thing here. We want to line our waterline with a flesh tone color once again to look awake. So I'm just going to quickly do that and show you guys the difference that makes as well. See that? This side versus this side, so much bigger. Not so much bigger because I have small eyes, but like definitely makes a significant difference. Normally I would want to do this before I applied, hello double chin. Normally I'd want to do this before I applied mascara, but you know, we'll make it work. I need to silence that, sorry. But yeah, honestly, this is all I would do, well, all I am doing for an interview. I want the star of the show to be my personality and my talents, not my makeup, not how I can do makeup. I want it all to be up here and what comes out of here. I do not want the focus to be on my glittery eyeshadow or my crazy strong contour or my sculpted brows, you know what I'm saying? So I hope this was helpful to you if you are going to an interview. Obviously, every face can hold a different style of makeup. This is what works for me with my hooded eyes and my features. So I hope this was somewhat inspirational and somewhat helpful if you're going on an interview. If you are, best of luck to you. Let your personality and your talents and your brain shine through. I'm obviously not going to wear this sweater. I'm going to wear a suit. So I hope this was helpful to some of you. Thanks for getting ready with me today for my interview. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. It means the world to me. And I will talk to you all very soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.